Hey guys, so today I just want to take a closer look at the first dual-core smartphone that got released last year. The reason why I bought this phone was just because I want to compare it with these new quad-core bad boys, and obviously this is the LG Optimus 2X, so I'm going to compare it against LG's new successor to this smartphone, which is going to be one of the first quad-core smartphones out there on the market, the LG Optimus 4X, 4X, 4 cores, 2X, 2 cores. You have the 4 capacitive touch buttons down here. We have the Google text on the back. It has an 8 megapixel camera. What else is that's kind of interesting? Yeah, it has that HDMI port up there in the top. You have the lock button. You have your headphone jack. You have 2 keys here on the side. We also have the micro USB at the bottom. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off right now. Okay, so this is the lock screen basically. Obviously Android 2.3.4 it's running right now. When they did ship it out in the beginning, it was running 2.2 of Android, and they also said it's going to come with Android like 4.0 ICS update. But of course this phone comes with LG's own custom UI on top of Android. So let's just go ahead and quickly go into settings so you can see for yourself what it's running. You can see that it's running Android 2.3.4, LG P990, the version number, and LG version number. Now, my first impressions of this device, coming from one of the guys that's been using many Android smartphones, the new Galaxy Nexus, the S2, HTC Sensation XL, trying out many of these devices. One thing about this phone is that it was the first dual-core smartphone, but it feels a little bit like LG rushed out this phone, just because it feels a little old in the UI. I'm not sure if it's just LG's custom overlay on top UI, but I think it feels like a 2010 phone. If we go ahead and look at the specs, we do know that it's running on a dual-core Cortex-A9 processor with a chipset that is basically being called NVIDIA Tegra 2 AP20H, and then the GPU is the ULP GeForce. But now, I've been using this phone a little bit, and it feels really like a 2010 phone. It doesn't feel like a dual-core phone, and that's kind of interesting because just 2 months later we got the Samsung Galaxy S2 that got released that was really much better. And I do know that it's a higher clocked Cortex A9 processor, 1.2 instead of only 1 GHz, and also it's running on the Exynos chipset and the Mali 400 GPU. But is that really making such a big difference? Because then that's kind of interesting. If you go ahead and look here, we can see that we can change the home screens. If you tap down here on the capacitive touch buttons, you can manage your apps. And I think this is built into Android, not something that LG has done themselves. Search key, of course, that's very nice to have a capacitive search key down here at the bottom. And also, as you can see on the keyboard, it looks very much like Apple's keyboard. And I'm not trying to make this a fanboy video, but I still do believe that it's pretty interesting. And I'm just going to turn down the screen brightness over here. So you can go ahead and see for yourself, and just judge for yourself what you think about this. Look at the keyboard, and if you click on, just look at that. I think it's kind of fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and search for something. I tried some things with this phone also. I tried to use it to update it, to find updates, but it didn't want to work. It did take time. Maybe I just have to wait to see more, when it's looking for updates to new software. Also, as you can see here, we have a widget here. It's a weather widget, but then when I try to add a city, the keyboard feels really good though. You can see that it's gonna search for that place, and you could see that my internet is working fine. Did browse some stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's something. It feels like, okay, I haven't been using this phone for that long, but two things that doesn't want to work. If you go ahead and go back to my home over here, if you go ahead and, you see here, we can go ahead and open up the Android Market Store. That now has changed to Google Play. That's the new name on the Android Market Store. Kind of interesting, actually, I think. Very, 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 very interesting. I also think I have my GPS turned on. And also, I mean, if you look at down here, you can see that, a quick tool over here. You have a music player widget. I'm not sure if you can remove that. Yeah, we have the market over here. Let's see. Play apps over 50% off, and that's kind of nice. But we aren't going to buy something. And also, I just love the search button. If you are in a widget and they have a search place, you just tap down here and you will get there instantly. But I do know that a lot of US phones have that search key. I'm not that used to it. I also downloaded a game, Angry Birds. We have some widgets, of course, you can put down on desktop. But overall, I mean, it feels a little sluggish. Okay, I haven't tried out the original Galaxy S. I haven't tried out some 2010 phones, but it really feels like they are better than this phone. I also tried out the camera, and I know it's a 1080p camera, but it really does suck. Okay, it's really, really horrible. You can just go ahead and watch a few videos on YouTube on the 1080p camera. The camera is insanely bad on the Optimus 2X. If you compare it to like the Galaxy S2, you won't believe your eyes. Okay, so if you're gonna buy a new phone, if you're on a budget, please try to get at least the S2. This phone, I mean, sure, it works, but it's like a total new experience if you go ahead and you just go along and buy the S2. It's a killer device actually right now. Let's go ahead and fire up a game. Oh, it's Angry Birds. What a surprise. And I know this is a game that you can play on single core, but might just try a little bit of a hardcore game. But I mean, of course, it's Cortex A9 dual core, you won't have a problem, but I have a problem with LG's custom UIs, or they may need to optimize it more. It feels slow. Could be the chipset as well, that's this GeForce chipset. Oh yes! Let's go ahead and go back. Yeah, overall, I'm not satisfied with it, but I mean, hey, this feels like a 2010 phone. I think we can call it almost a 2010 phone. I also think that they announced it like 2010 at the end there, so I think they were trying to rush it out a little bit too quick. But I mean, of course, I am very hard when I do these reviews. Of course, this is a phone that will be perfect for most people because it's a dual core phone. It works. Okay. If you go ahead and do it like this, let's see. Yeah, you can see just like in all of the other Android versions, you have those pages that you can go ahead and remove as well, I think. Okay, I don't know how you do here on this device. Should you buy this device? No. It will be interesting to see if the same thing is going to happen this year. If the Optimus 4X will be here, and everyone thinks it will be a cool phone with the HTC One X, and then Samsung come with a killer device again, just as they did last year, and that will become the most successful phone of this year. That will be interesting, and of course I'm talking about the Android smartphones right now. I know that the Apple iPhone is going to sell like crazy, but yeah, very quick look at this phone. Let's see.